It is 8 o'clock on the dot. You should be in the YouTube streets. That's where you should be. If you were here, check in. Let us know if you could hear us, if you could feel us, if you could see us, if you could smell us. In the meantime, child, I am going to clean off this desk, this area, because it gets on my nerves. I don't like when the podcasting area is not clean. And maybe that's because I'm animated with my hands. I don't know, but I know that I don't like it. Um, Happy New Year. I guess I owe you guys that. This is Stripped. You guys know we start off every episode with a cheers. Normally, you guys can't see, and normally I'm drinking water when I podcast, but part of coming back for the new year is I wanted to do something different, give y'all something different. If you are not a champs drinker, that's cool. Get you some tea, get you some wine, get you some Mad Dog, whatever you like, get you some of it because we finna chit chat for just a little bit. So let's strip. Hi Tammy, how you doing, girl? Child, now I'm not even gonna lie to you. Drinking the champs on camera is very, very, very risky business because she makes me burp. She does. And so this shall be a fun podcast. Starting from the top, if you're new here, hi. If you're not, welcome to Strip. You know, we just kind of jump right into it. It's no formal intro. Well, I have to catch y'all up because we have not podcast together since the top of the new year. And I don't know, something in the break created anxiety, and not in a like, I know, I wish you could be Norm on here. Not in a like, oh my God, podcasting is so stressful, but it just created this weird anxiety in a way of like, what am I getting ready to get on here and talk to y'all every week for? Like, everybody's podcast has a hook, everybody's has something, very much something. And I just didn't want to play the something game. And I was like, well, is there space for me? And I really went back and forth. Am I bringing the podcast back? Am I not bringing the podcast back? What is we doing? It was we coming as we staying. Every day it was something different. I'm calling creator friends. What do you think about it? I was really tripping. And then one day I said, this is my little space. I let y'all bully me on TikTok, on Instagram, and on Twitter. Okay. But this is my little space that I'm creating. And we are going to chit chat about pop culture and reality TV, and we're going to chit chat about real life stuff. Sometimes we'll have a guest, sometimes we won't have a guest. But this is my space, and what I can promise you is that every time I come in, I'm on the mic, I'm gonna strip down, child. I am giving you real raw stripped L. Okay, and I hope that the guests follow suit. And so that's what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna hold you too long. I'm not gonna make it too much, but I felt like for the strippers, I did owe you guys that because we just stopped podcasting. And then for whatever reason, Zell's last podcast didn't even have any audio. So we're gonna have to get her back into into the strip space so we can talk. Child, let's get into it. Norm in the comments said that Quad is hosting TGIF in place of Claudia tonight, and I love that for her. We have a long list of things. Please also remember that podcast Stripped will be available wherever you get your podcast tomorrow. Now, what time tomorrow? I don't know because I don't really know the process. Again, this is new. We doing something new. Amen. Amen. Tonight we will be talking about Real Housewives of Potomac, Bad and Bougie, Married to Medicine, Cardi B, Real Housewives of Dubai coming back to Bravo. The cyber attacks happening in the world. Larsa Pippen, okay, and Risa Tisa. I need to start off here at the top on the Real Housewives of Potomac of it all. I can't take no more. Somebody in the comments said I'm tired of the poverty TV, and I'm there. Okay, poverty actually being without money, not poverty who Phaedra was playing against on Traders, which would be poverty. But Phaedra don't know how to talk. Okay, a little country girl. I can't take any more of Real Housewives of Potomac. It at this point, it's not even about the opulence. It's not even about the wealth. It's just giving boring, right? Like we have seen reality TV people last long times, right? Like without having name brand and all that. It's not about the lack of opulence at this point. It's about the lack of authentic television, right? For me, as a reality TV watcher, I understand that these people are earning checks. I understand that in the real world, Heavenly and Dr. Jackie would not be friends. They would not frequent the same spaces. They don't do the same things, right? But I do think that there is a space where you can get all of these people who would never in other worlds cross paths and still give relatable content. We're not getting anything relatable out of the girls, right? For me, good reality TV is seeing Wendy go in to have this sit down with NECA, and maybe Wendy is a brick wall. Maybe nothing comes of their conversation, but she gives a little bit more TV, a little bit more read down, right? Or just like a little bit more on the theatric side. But we aren't getting anything to hook us in, right? Like even when Dorinda was being mean to Tinsley on Real Housewives of New York, you almost wanted to tune in because it was like, well, what is this crazy girl going to say to her next? And how is it going to pan out? It wasn't just the whole cast ganging up on Tinsley. I don't know. There's no balance. We went all the way in one direction and we haven't come back. So I guess my analogy, because in the homeschooling world, I'm teaching my little one early geometry. Real Housewives of Potomac is an array. It's a line that only continues in one direction. Okay. We have stopped on the authenticity. That is the end point, and the line is just reaching and reaching towards what the fuck land. That's where we're headed. We're in what the fuckville right now, headed to what the fuck land. And then obviously it is a one-way ticket situation. I cannot take anymore. While we are on the topic of Real Housewives of Potomac, I want to swing over to other overly produced reality TV, and that would be Bold and Bougie. Okay. I know I came to y'all and I know I was like, oh, I like the show. I'm into it. It's giving, it's eating down. And I stand by everything that I said. However, I like my reality TV absent of the producers. I like when the talent is able to deliver the juice, the mess that the producers want to get across without seeming like, hold on, what did you say? My line was there a reason you didn't like me? Like it's just so producer forced. All of those conversations that happen on Bold and Bougie seem like this, right? Like they're fluid, they're going, and then it was like, so why you say you ain't like me? So where did you even come from? How did we even get here? What are you doing? Do you even go here? Like, and that is my issue. Again, there is drama inside of Bold and Bougie. I don't know. You could call it acting. You could call it what you want to call it. But Tamika is a wild woman. Tamika Foster Raymond gives batshit cuckoo. I don't know what else to tell you. That girl literally looked Malaysia in her face and shoot her. I like, dismissed her, told her she could go. I said, oh, it it would never been me. Listen, today's drinking game is if you got one, drink it. I love these cute little champagne flutes that I got. They come in different colors. So next week, if you are watching here on YouTube, you'll get to see another color. At about the 8:20 mark, we are going to take a break from the pop culture news, and I'm going to let you guys pick my nails. I normally do these videos on my backup TikTok page. If you're not following, it's Madam Mirasaki. But I'm going to let you guys pick my birthday nails. My birthday is March 14th. I am a Pisces. Hold the applause. Okay. And I'm at the point of stress. And I started to tell you guys this today on the TikTok live, but I'm at the little point of stress because my head and my heart are at war a little bit, right? I want all the spring things. I want all the nails, all the colors that look spring and hot outside. But it's something very depressing about having spring hot fun girl nails and then it's still being cold outside. So I don't want that. That's thing number one. Number two, I am currently like an almond shaped round girl. And I think I want to be a square girl again, but I'm really not sure. I don't know. The round almonds, they have my heart. So at around 8:15, 8:20, we will take a break from the tea of it all. And you guys will help me pick my birthday notes. Now, before we get into the birthday notes, child, and we gonna be here for some time. Okay. So if you got a friend, look at your neighbor, say, neighbor, get in here. Amen. Okay. Married to Medicine. And there is so much to unpack in the Married to Medicine of it all. I am going to start at the is quad a victim. Okay. I will say that as a long time Watch her. I don't feel as though Quad I do feel as though Quad always finds a way to make herself the victim. I do feel that to be true. I also feel like in this situation, they are holding Quad to a standard that they don't want to hold themselves to. Okay. I don't know who in their right mind would hang out with people who clearly don't want to hang out with them. Like, I don't understand what they want from Quad. That being said, you can't not offer friendship. You can't only call when the cameras are on. You can't not participate. You can't not be on the two-way street and then say, oh, the sisterhood is lacking here. Well, what have you done to help participate in the sisterhood of it all? Right? Cool. Somebody said this on Twitter, and the more I sit with it, the more my nose ring is kicking my butt, the more I agree with it. This season kind of feels like a punishment for Quad. Feels like maybe they were punishing her because she did not want to share the story of her niece or the tragic that happened at her house. Please understand that when I keep calling it the tragic, I am not making fun or light of the situation. I think it is hilarious that Dr. Simone was so shaken, so obviously knew that she shouldn't be talking about this story word for word, that she couldn't even really get it out. So she couldn't say there was a tragedy that happened at her house. There was a tragic. And to me, you can hear the little bit of shake and nervousness in her voice. Okay, cool. They don't rally around Quad, and there is no excuse for that. But also Quad don't rally around them. So for me, this whole, oh, we should be sisters, it's like y'all ain't never liked each other. Quad stopped trying to be these girls' friend after season 1. And again, rightfully so. Quad has a reason. Quad, there was an episode season 1 where they were in the Sprinter and Quad was like, I'm not going to take this no more. And Dr. Simone was like, no mo or no more. Girl, yo man be calling another woman to discuss your issues, and you almost got divorced because you can't make him stop calling another woman. There is no way that I would have not read Dr. Simone down, which is also why I'm confused. Quad always want to give these monologues, but when it comes time to read like the way she need to be read, Quad be tight-lipped, and I don't like that for me. Okay, cool. I said in the video that I made on Twitter and on TikTok, half of y'all agree with me, half of y'all don't. But I said in that video that Dr. Simone is wrong. Period. We aren't arguing about that. Dr. Simone is grown. It don't matter what question Andy asked her. She controls the questions and the words that she allows to come out of her mouth, right? So that being said, Dr. Simone is at fault. She is wrong. However, she not wrong by herself. And that is the only point. Me pointing out that Andy is wrong does not dim Simone's wrong light in any shape or fashion. Both them two lights is now sitting on the top of the hill shining bright. That's what I'm saying, okay? Some of y'all have also said, oh, well, Andy was doing his job. He's the producer. He's supposed to get the story out. No, you need to clarify and backtrack for people who did not watch the show about things that happened on the what? Ding, 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 ding. Show. Good job. Quad did not want to share this piece of her life. Quad did not talk about this piece of her life at any point during the season. So Andy's job is to clear up and clarify, what are you talking about? You're talking about when she said on the show X, Y, and Z. There was no room for Andy to do his job there. There was a tragic at Quad's house, should have been enough, especially considering the fact that Andy himself also knows what the incident is. Okay. And again, I would like to add, and nobody has told me this for a fact, but please keep in mind that Quad has already expressed she don't want to talk about this, thus the reducing in the hours that she had on the show. Okay. What do y'all have to say about Quad? The tragedy affects more than just Quad. It hurts her. Yes, I agree. And I think that if Quad would have talked about this tragedy on the show, y'all would have called her every name in the book. Oh, she's exploiting her family. Y'all hated when Bethany peed on a stick. So y'all would have definitely hated if Quad highlighted this tragic that happened at her house. Okay. That being said, Andy was standing right there, poking, 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 poking. He asked 2 times. Well, really, in my opinion, 3, because he alluded to it once. He referenced it once, and then he asked twice. Now, again, Simone's job as somebody who claimed to once be this girl's friend was any y'all know exactly what happened. There's enough blogs and all of that out there. I'm not going to get into that. She had a tragedy happen at her house, and when she had that tragedy, I reached out. And it really should have just been that. Not I was about to two-hand the champagne. Like, what, man? What are you doing? Honestly, no more. Okay. So while we're still there with it, that takes us to the dentist. And the dentist is wrong on so many levels on this particular show. Again, she's ruining it. She's ruining it. Listen, I spoke to Dolores Catania from Real Housewives in New Jersey one time, and she said they don't pay us to fight off camera. Do all of this on camera, right? And when I say this, I mean be entertaining. Have your little reads, have your little clapbacks, but don't be evil. Don't be evil. We should have never been talking about Sweet Tea's uterus and her eggs, and that was just low. So now the people, the power that be, done told Miss the dentist that she can't have her YouTube no more, right? And she said that Dr. Damon Daddy told her it was time to turn off the mic, right? Cool. Her loophole is that she's gonna take it to Patreon. I don't know if the powers that be told her, oh, you can't have a YouTube channel, whatever. Anyway, the loophole that she found was, oh, they said I couldn't be on my YouTube, so I'm gonna come to Carlos's. While she was on Carlos's YouTube, she then says or confirms, whatever you want to say, that everybody's contract got renewed. Everybody will be back for season 11, which is very interesting because, again, I told you guys that there are blind items out that say we not getting no season 11. So I don't understand Dr. Heavenly, the dentist, if you will. I don't understand what's going on in that Married to Medicine space. Tomorrow, I will watch and recap Carlos King's sit down with Cecil and Eugene. I saw that happened. I just did not get a chance to get to it today. Continuing on the Married to Medicine path, at the reunion, the dentist told Quad that a lot of the girls thought that the leakage or the outage, if you will, of the resurfacing, that's what I want to say, the resurfacing of Dr. Jackie's old video came from Quad. Quad was the one that got it out there. Okay. Quad's publicist then took to social media to tell us that she spoke to the people. Now, Quad's publicist is a woman we've never heard from before in the Bravo space. So therefore, I just, you should believe her. You ain't never heard from her before. Just believe everything she says. She would never lie to you. She comes out and says that she spoke to the powers that be over at Bravo, and they 100% confirmed that the resurfacing of the video came from a former castmate. Okay. Former castmates being Contessa, Buffy, Anila, Lisa Nicole, Mariah. Okay. Mariah still gets paid and credited as a creator of the show. She has absolutely no reason to put it out, right? Anila and Lisa Nicole, we really just not even seen them in the housewife space or the Bravo space, reality TV space since we've seen them on TV. We don't know her to have a bad relationship with Jackie or them to have a bad relationship with Jackie. That leaves Buffy and Contessa. Okay. The people of the world. Hello, DK. Hello, Mr. Marisaki. Thank you guys for being here. The internet is implying that Buffy, former castmate of Married to Medicine, was behind the leaking. Okay. I don't even believe this story that come from Quad's alleged publicist. I don't halfway believe that. I also Buffy is really good friends with Mariah. She's been at Sleek. They just did a YouTube recapping of the reunion of Married to Medicine. I don't see how it would benefit Buffy. I don't see how it would benefit any of these ladies who were former castmates to put this out. And when I look at reasons why somebody would do something, the first thing that I look at is, well, what do you have to gain from this? Where do you go from this? I don't see that benefiting. What did it do? It barely did anything. Dr. Jackie gave us like a BS apology, and then like we hated it, and a lot of people came forward, but then nothing happened. Her check wasn't affected. She's still set up there with Dr. Kamala Harris, first Madam Second Lady Kamala Harris. Okay. She's done all of the things. So I just don't understand again, but I do understand how it would benefit somebody sitting on that couch. I do understand how it would benefit a current cast member on that couch to leak the stuff. Now, that's just me in my opinion. DK is in the building. Never late when you actually made it. So let's get into some of these birthday nails. Amen. Amen. First one being her. She is a top contender for me right now. This is where I am leaning. If you have any other nail suggestions that you think would be cute, you can drop them in my DMs on Instagram. Okay. Option number two. And this is the one that makes me feel like, do I need to be a square girl again? Because I thought this was cute. I don't know if I would go this dark on the red, and y'all know I'm not getting them things put on top. The medallions that won't be there, but I do like the red with a little peekaboo. She is another top contender for me. She eats. And listen, if you guys are just listening on the podcast, you're not here on YouTube, well, you're missing out on the visuals. Another real simple one. Those are your options. We can run them again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You let me know which ones you're feeling. Real Housewives of Dubai. We just got the trailer for that. No, pause. Let's pause on the Bravo. Cardi B. Listen, the freestyle drop. I'm into it. I'm into it. Now, roundabout when she dropped Invasion of Privacy, my life got busy. So therein, I stopped learning all the Cardi songs. But I see it for Cardi. Always have seen it for Cardi. Y'all don't let Mr. Fire Husband fool you. That man love him some Cardi B. Okay. He was on Cardi B before Cardi B was on Love and Hip Hop. He was following her on Instagram. He loves her. Okay. No, I'm just catching your comments. If VP Kamala Harris saw it, she would feel it. If she checked it, she would feel it. Tammy says number 2. DK says number 3. Let's see how I feel about this. Would be 2. She's an E. And this would be 3. She's also an E. Sorry. I enjoy Cardi B. Sometimes them veneers be in the way. And I tried to find a nice way to say it, but sometimes them veneers be in the way. You could hear her talking around them in the same way that for men, the grills be in the way when they be wrapping around them. And I don't enjoy that. But I really, really enjoyed that freestyle. I felt like the freestyle ate, and it was independent of taking any like loud shots at another female artist. Like it was good. I thought it was good music. It was an iconic beat. Missy thanked her for using the beat. Like we were good. I found no drama in it, but y'all did on the internet. Y'all was at first like, oh, y'all got a problem with Coach. Da, 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 da. First of all, let me tell you something about Coach. You know how some people be like, bring back 90s Gucci prices. Coach is a girl whose prices have been the same. Okay. It wasn't never a moment when Coach fell off like Champion and got cheap. Coach been that price since the beginning of the time. Okay. And they are known for their leather, for their craftsmen, and in a place where, like, honestly, let's keep it a buck. And I might be losing some of you guys. I am a handbags girl. In a world where Chanel is upping price and cutting quality, you have to clap it up for a brand that's giving you quality pricing and quality handbags across the board. Okay, cool. So then y'all basically bullied Cardi B into now she had to go do a video with her shopping, child. She in the mall, whatever mall she in her bonnet, in some little slip-on slippers that's barely all the way on her feet, walking with a good old nasty little stank walk. I love a good little nasty walk. Buying a Coach bag. That was not needed. Okay. Then people, I forget who said that they came out with the hairstyle first and the cut and all of this. And now you got Bia liking tweets suggesting that Cardi B has Bia on her vision board. Take a sip to that one. And I also think it's a little mean too. Listen, Cardi is a superstar. We talk about them all. Ain't nothing about her special. See, she's subject to it too. But also, I don't feel like you get any cool points for beating up a person who already told you, like, I've beat myself up. I've been struggling. I've had this song for a minute. Like, all of the stuff that comes with being a celebrity, having these cameras in your face. Like, it be getting to me, sipping on my tea. Yes, as you should be. This is like a wedding. When you hear the glasses clink, take a sip. To run her down and prove the point is like, and then again, she's an artist. Did the song eat? Was the video an eat? Y'all was never talking about who Missy was original, so maybe that wasn't like a good thing. But like, it was never, oh, Missy sold this hairstyle, oh, Missy. Just allow that person to give you the art that they feel like giving you in that moment, and then just let that be good enough. I don't understand what the issue is. Also, I want to tell y'all that, listen, the goal for Stripped is to be an hour-long podcast, right? We are all busy. Nobody has time for a 3-hour-long podcast. Amen. But quite like the pastors in the church, if I get to talking too much and service does run over, amen, charge it to my mouth and not my heart. The goal is an hour, okay? I'm not going to try and be before you long. However, if the tea get to spilling and it take a lot to mop it up, what do you want me to do? Real Housewives of Dubai, child. They coming back soon and very soon. They'll be here. Amen. First of all, clap in the comments if you even care. Clap in the comments if you are going to watch Real Housewives of Dubai. I don't know why it took so long for this second season to come out. It's been 11 years. But I do know that Real Housewives of Dubai, even with all of its opulence, was not juicy enough for us to wait this long. There was not enough happening. And even if it was, everything that we finna watch, they filmed almost a year ago. Where is what? Girl, no. I do think that Phaedra would have been better back on Real Housewives of Dubai. I was looking forward to her being over there a little bit more. And again, in a world where nothing makes sense, it makes more sense than her being on Married to Medicine. AT&T, Facebook, Instagram, all the people are having the outages, okay? Seems a little suspicious to me. It does seem a little suspicious to me. This is also happening at a time where right now there is unrest in the streets of Israel, right? Allegedly, the news is just catching up to them. So the things that we are getting as far as news, the genocides that we know that are happening, all of that, they're just now seeing it on TV. So they aren't liking it. They're in the streets, they're protesting. I also saw somewhere where now, like, if you are in Israel, if you're on their soil, you are in their military. Like, hope Tiffany Haddish makes it back on time. Shout out to Instagram. I did not think that it would be by way of Miss Tiffany Haddish headed to be a genocide tourist. I did not think that it would be through her that I got 1 million views on Instagram. So shout out to the chit chatters that consistently hold us down on the Instagrams. Amen. We average about 1.3 million views a week. So shout out to you guys. You guys are really doing the thing. That same video also did very good on TikTok, but TikTok some way, somehow found a reason to disqualify it from the creativity beta program. Therefore, I'm not getting paid for it. And it's really weird because it was not disqualified. Taking a segue to teach you how Insta or TikTok works, in the beta fund program, they will let you know if your video is disqualified and they will tell you why said video was disqualified. That did not happen for me on this video. So I just got to see the video rack up like 500,000 views and nothing. If you're wondering, like, oh, is it because of my brown skin? Yes, it probably is. There is also another TikTok creator who has a video with over 2 million views, and that happened to them. Also, as Norm said, today is polls are on their way to being closed, Super Tuesday. So it was not lost on me that these Instagram or Meta outages happened very early on in the day on Super Tuesday. That one did not shock me. On to a TikTok. I was going to say an Instagram, a TikTok video for you guys that did surprisingly well. Mr. Usher went to Bali to hang out with one. Great job voting, as you should have. Went to go hang out with one Russell the Creep Simmons over in Bali. Now, if you live under a rock, your name is Patrick Starr. Russell Simmons is hiding out, child, in Bali. He's hiding out in Bali because of some allegations that were made against him here in the US. Well, last week, another accuser of the Sean Puff Daddy Puffy P. Diddy brother Love Combs came forward to say, I seen some things, I heard some things was tried in my direction, and they named Usher. Did not call him Usher Raymond the Fourth. They said R&B singer who just recently performed at the Super Bowl. My God, you should have typed his name out. Okay, said that him and a rapper from Philadelphia who had been locked up and used to date Nicki Minaj, again, should have said his name, were on a yacht with minor children. And yeah, I don't think the place to go after being pseudo named adjacent in that lawsuit was to Bali to go hang out with another man who has also been accused of the same things that these people are accusing you of. Like, is the mall open and are there shoppers? Because what? Yeah, no, at this point in the court filing, they should have said an R&B singer who had a hit song's Confession, another hit song's name, yeah, also sung at the Super Bowl, used to be married to a woman named Tamika and had a song called Papers. Him, but I want to keep the name anonymous. Just got finished with a Vegas residency, made Keke Palmer's baby daddy very, 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 very upset. Like, at this point, say his name, because what are we even talking about? But yes, he went over to Bali. Somebody on Twitter has recently tagged me in some pictures of NC Light as well as Taraji P. Henson. Taraji P. Henson, who wants you to know that the reason that Black people run away when they laugh is because of slavery. Here's the thing. When it comes to rooted things that we do because of the effects of slavery, I feel like it's time to have a broader sentence, right? And later on, we can go in and say, "Oh, Taraji was paraphrasing." Da da da. When you have this mic in front of you, it is your job to try and be as clear as possible because we do know that it's going to get broken up and broken down, right? Right. To say that we run away because of slavery to me is not a great sentence. Um, there are practices and things that we do innately that might be rooted in slavery, in some things that were ingrained in us, in our grandparents, because some of us are only 2, 3, 4 generations removed from slavery, um, that come from that, right? But to say we do that, like, no, Tyrone do that because that's what his mama do. That's why he do that. And Tyrone was sitting up in the room, and that's why Tyrone was silent because Tyrone said, "Well, who said that? What slavery got to do with it? I got that from my mom and them. When they be my uncle and them, when they be laughing, that's again, does it have roots? Can we trace its origins? Absolutely. I do think that there is this fine line between making sure that we acknowledge the trauma that we as Black people have went through here in America. There is a way to pay homage to our ancestors who endured slavery, who helped fight for our freedoms and all of those things, while also like at this point, it is kind of time to let some of it go. Let some of it go. Put it down. Like, I can't take any more slavery movies. Like, at some point, it is incumbent upon us as Black people to now redirect the narrative. Yes, I'm clear that those actions have something to do with slavery. But I do that today because I got that from my mom. And for me, laughing and doing something that's reminiscent of my mom reminds me to keep going, keep pushing, whoever you are, right? Like, but to constantly just give power to slavery is just really, really wild to me. I don't understand. I don't understand it. And I would like some more context. What was that meeting about? Like, why did she get up and was like, do you know the reason why we ran when we laughed? Because slavery. Like, how did we even get there? I I can't take any more movies about slavery. I really can't. I don't know if it's because I've had really good conversations as a child and growing up about what happened and who paved the way and who came before me. I remember one time I was at my god sister's house, and I don't know if y'all remember those 90s chairs that like it was just the continuous piece of metal and they came down and under the seat and then they spiraled back around. It was just like this one big piece of metal. I'm at my god sister's house and my uncle, her father, puts the chair down. Excuse me, he makes us both climb into this area and contort our bodies. And he is explaining that this is what traveling on that boat looked like. This is the space that they had. Now imagine having to use the bathroom and being here and like me and my god sister like in this space like that. For me, things like that worked, right? Like that helped me realize again, like, oh, it's bigger than us, right? Like again, in that space, my god sister and I were in a predominantly white school at the time. Like they under they understand our power. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was clear on it from the very beginning. Roots when you were 7 is crazy. I did watch Roots. I just recently was telling my husband not only did I have to watch Roots as a kid, but I watched the spinoffs, the Roots Next Generation. Yeah, I was in there when Chicken George great granddaughter was sneaking and hiding and going to the movies with a white man. Okay. Yeah, I'm deep in the Roots bag. I wouldn't do it again, but I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it. They're little like inside jokes that we make in our house to this day that stem from things that we saw in Roots. There was this wedding plantation that was under fire for calling it their guest quarters, but they owned a plantation and they had weddings on the plantation, and they turned the old slave quarters into guest housing, right? Hell, in the world of business and renting out the rooms makes sense. But when I looked at it and I looked at like this little tiny house in this shack, and I'm like looking at the land that this woman is standing on, just knowing that our people who look like me, made it so that this white woman can sit here and like host weddings and call this the guest dwelling. Like, get out the people property. I couldn't take it no more. Let's get into this Larsa Pippen, Scottie Pippen story, and then we will finish with talking about our girl TikTok viral sensation Risa Tisa. Okay, starting with Scottie Pippen, and I do forgive me because I did think that I had a graphic for you guys. Okay, so boom. Over the weekend, Scottie Pippen got smacked with a lawsuit. In that lawsuit, Larsa Pippen, his ex-wife, Real Housewives of Miami, was named, as well as Carl Pippen, that is Scottie Pippen's brother, as well as the Chicago Bulls. And the woman, Cheyenne, I believe is her first name, Valentine, is suing Scottie Pippen because she said that she had an on-again, off-again relationship with him from 1987 until 1993. That is the full duration of his first marriage, with whom he also has kids. That first wife's name is Karen. And then he married Larsa in 97. Okay. She says that in 1993, Scottie Pippen and Carl Pippen both took advantage of her body, causing her to be pregnant. Now, I found it very interesting that I could not find any information on the internet as to whether or not Scottie Pippen belonged, or excuse me, Devontae Pippen, which was the baby of Valentine, belonged to Scottie or Carl. But again, the child did carry the Pippen last name. He was unalived in 2011 in something completely unrelated to this story. After she ended things with him because you took advantage of my body, she said that's when the harassment started, and he would harass her and stalk her and use his celebrity and his fame in order to do that. That also then resulted in like looping Larsa in. The Bulls are being named in the lawsuit. She actually said that the Bulls have 30 days to respond, or else she will sue them as well. But she said that she's suing them because if he did not have the backing of the Bulls, he would not have felt as emboldened to do the things that he did. The way I know nothing about the Scottie Pippen. The Scottie Pippen story is up on my page on TikTok and as well as on Instagram. So you can go look at it if you want. I think it's on Twitter too. And the whole time I'm listening to this story, I'm like, okay, this is unfortunate. Okay, I'm hearing it. Like, I could see how this makes sense. And then for me, it got a little weird. I do want to make it very clear that if this is this lady's truth, that the Pippen brothers took advantage of her, that is her truth. I'm not here to question that part of it or what. But I did find in the article that Valentine had already sued Scottie Pippen back in 2018, and she sued him for $9,999 in Chicago in the small claims court. That's the largest amount that you can do. Anything over 10K takes you outside of small claims court. And she sued him again in 2018 because she said that when she was messing with him from the years of 1987 to 1993, that she paid for trips. And so this money was to recoup. That made my brain hurt a little bit because if you was with Scottie Pippen, this man that you were now suing that said that he used the weight of the franchise that he was a part of to stalk you and stuff, were you not with him for the same thing, the material things that he could do? Why were you paying for trips if you was running around town with Scottie Pippen? You see what I'm saying? He was messing with that girl before he even got with his wife. He married his wife in 88. He was messing with Valentine in 1987. So my brain is like, either you didn't pay for the trips or you did pay for the trips. He was hustling you. Little young, little stupid little thing. Like, but either way, that presented a hole in the story for me that was just kind of like, I'm gonna hold on to that one. I wanna see how that one moves along. Now, ending on Miss Risa Tisa, our beloved TikTok queen. Baby girl did what those of us who TikTok aim and strive to do. Yes, I said that the Valentine had a son that was a result of the essaying from Carl and Scotty. And that son passed away in 2011 in an incident unrelated to anything to do with the Pippins. Um, Risa Tisa did what some of us on TikTok aim to do, baby. She went viral. Amen. She went mega viral. This girl just did her little ABC run. She was on the Tamron Hall show, and then she was on Good Morning America talking to the Robin Roberts. Okay. Again, if your name is Patrick Starr and you live under a rock, Risa Tisa gave us an eloquent 52-part series entitled Who the Fuck Did I Marry? I told y'all at the top of the episode that the champs make me burp. And now I'm like Risa Tisa. She hiccuped through the whole 52 series, and now here I go burping. But she had a series, 52 parts, called Who the Fuck Did I Marry? Each part was about 10 minutes long. And baby, when I tell you, I was sucked in from moment one. Okay. Y'all who say y'all didn't watch it, who say y'all started and say y'all couldn't, I just don't understand. And maybe I really am too nosy for my own good, because I'm telling you, at the point in which I was 7 minutes into part one, I knew that I was getting ready to watch every part that she put out. And I did. Also, for those of you who say that y'all tried to listen to it on 2 times speed and couldn't, I didn't understand. I felt like Risa Tisa had the perfect slow voice for a 2 times speed. I put it in 2 times speed. Sometimes they didn't even know if it was there, because it was, she already spoke slow enough that when you put it on 2 times, it didn't make it like, it didn't feel like a squirrel. Knocked it all out. Baby, I took a nap. I woke up. I got me something to drink, laid back down, kept watching it. And by the time I finished watching it, people were putting it, streaming it to their TVs. And I was like, damn, why didn't I think about that? Okay, so 52 parts. She talks about how she met this gentleman. He said that he was a regional manager for a condiment company, but like in the factory department. So not in the corporate office, but in the manufacturing company. Throughout the course of that relationship, he then said that he had been promoted to VP of, let's just say, factory operations. Um, and I don't know. This is pandemic time. They're living together. The pandemic comes around. He tells her that he is living in Atlanta. He had just moved out from California. His job was giving him a relocation package, but because of COVID, things were slow. People had COVID. They were out of the office. All of these stories seem to line up for a little bit. Now, in the telling of this story, she is very transparent about all of the red flags that she decided to color pink, the ones that she decided to ignore, the ones that she decided to stuff back down. They move in together. And he tells her, like, "Oh, I know this wasn't the plan. I still want to buy a house." He told her that he used to play indoor arena football and that he had money in savings accounts and in offshore accounts. He had done really well with his money and he saved his money from indoor arena football. It was with that money that he wanted to buy a house. Okay. Him and Risa Tisa go out. They're looking at houses. They're talking to Zillow agents, and he now offers to buy the house in full cash. He receives an offer letter. He signs that offer letter. When it comes time to show proof of funds, this man don't want to do it. He cannot provide, nor will he provide proof of funds. This continues to go on to the point where Risa Tisa now has to make voice notes. She's starting to catch on that this man is crazy. And she starts making voice notes, a voice diary, just so that she can document and talk out loud through what is happening. This man has egged her on, told her that they are closing on the house. She is out at work thinking that they supposed to close on the house when she gets home. Something says to her, call the people. So she calls to inquire about the house, and they're like, oh, yes, it's off the market. It just sold. She, in a roundabout way, asks a question to find out who the house was sold to, finds out it was an older white couple. Obviously, not her and her man. This continues on. She gets pregnant. She ends up, unfortunately, losing the baby. This man does not take her to the hospital to have her procedure. In fact, he ends up lying and telling her that he had just, his role came with an executive assistant. And so if you text him while he's at work, the executive assistant is probably who's going to text you back. Name the man Dave. This girl's friend takes her to her DNC appointment. She gets there, she gets checked in. She texts her husband, they're married at this point, to tell him, hey, I'm here. I've got my gown on. I did my COVID testing and all of that. This man texts her back pretending to be Dave. And when she was on Robin Roberts, Robin asked her, what was like the most hurtful lie, if any? And she said that lie, the fact that he pretended while she was suffering from a miscarriage from having their kid, the fact that he pretended to not be there, pretended to be his secretary, just like did it for her. The series is 52 parts. Y'all really do have to watch it. It is good. She is an amazing storyteller. We found out today that she has been signed to CAA, one of the world's most like elite talent management companies. Somebody on my Twitter actually said though that they had wished that she had just signed with a really good entertainment lawyer, because she feels like these agencies and people are looking to take advantage of her story and of her. And her just kind of being whisked into this, they felt as though she had went that route. Everything that the way in which Risa Tisa laid out the 52-part story, the way that she was intentional about not saying anybody's name, people still found, but the way that she tried not to say people's names and tell this story, and even the way that she provides the updates once his family found out about things. There's nothing about her that screams stupid. So I feel like the affairs are in order. I feel like she did protect herself on paper, and I hope she did. Um, I hope that she continues to keep her foot on Leonard Larry McKelvey's neck, known to some of y'all as Charlemagne the God, because that man was out of order. And to sit there and then say, oh, well, like, I wasn't saying that her situation was because of big back. I was just saying that it sounds like big back behavior. Is this something that you know of because of your wife? Because you too have cheated on your wife, dogged your wife out, and that girl still stuck by you and stayed by you and hoped that you would get right the same way that Risa Tisa was hoping that her man would get right. So again, this big back behavior that you speak of, is that something that you have learned from your wife? And why is just hilarious, sitting in the background talking about something, yeah, just co-signing it. It's time for the Breakfast Club to be off the air, honestly. I still say about my statement, she deserves all the success Ariana Madix got. She does deserve the VPR Ariana Madix success. And I hope that she continues to ride that wave. Guys, this has been Stripped. As we end every episode, it is 100% free 99, in fact, to be a good person. So do that shit, right? And if you can't, that's cool. keep your bad vibes to yourself, right? Like, because you're going to receive 100% of the energy you emit. I hope that you enjoyed stripping with us. If you have a story that you want to talk about next week, please, my DMs are always, always open. We will be back next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Go be a good person. Cheers.